हरे कृष्ण। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Ram Sankirtan ki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So today we don't have the board here. So all of you, you have the verse on your mobile. So you can all open Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, chapter number 9th, shloka 27 and 28. So we'll just recite the first shloka, that is 27th. Atha vipretam anvikshya Brahmano Madhusudanah Vishanna Chetasam Tena Kalpa Vyatikaram Bhasa Atha vipretam anvikshya Brahmano Madhusudanah Vishanna Chetasam Tena Kalpa Vyatikaram Bhasa Atha bhipretam anvikshya Brahmano Madhusudanah Vishanna Chetasam Tena Kalpa Vyatikaram Bhasa Atha vipretam anvikshya Vishanna Chetasam Tena Atha vipretam anvikshya Brahmano Madhusudanah Vishanna Chetasam Tena Kalpa Vyatikaram Bhasa. Matajis. Atha bhipretam anvikshya Brahmano Madhusudanah Vishanna Chetasam Tena kalpavyatikaraambasa. So I'll just read the next shloka also. Lokasamsthana vijnana atmana parikhidyatah tam ahagadhaya vacha kashmalam shamayan iva. Word to word meanings. Atha, thereupon, abhipretam, intention, anviksha, observing, brahmana, of Brahma, Madhusudanaha, the killer of the Madhu demon, Vishanna, depressed, Chetasam, of the heart, Tena, by him, Kalpa, millennium, Vyatikara Ambhasa, devastating water, Lokasamsthana, situation of the planetary system, Vijnane, in the science, Atmanaha, of himself, Parikhidyataha, sufficiently anxious, Tam, unto him, Ah, said, Agadhaya, deeply thoughtful, Vacha, by words, Kashmalam, impurities, Shamayan, removing, Iva, like that. Translation. The Lord saw that Brahma was very anxious about the planning and construction of the different planetary systems and was depressed upon seeing the devastating water. He could understand the intention of Brahma, and thus he spoke in deep, thoughtful words, removing all the illusion that had arisen. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The devastating water was so fearful that even Brahma was perturbed as its appearance and become very anxious about how to situate the different planetary systems in outer space to accommodate the different kinds of living entities, such as the human beings, those lower than the human beings, and the superhuman beings. All the planets in the universe are situated according to the different grades of living entities under the influence of the modes of material nature. There are 3 modes of material nature, and when they are mixed with one another, they become 9. When the 9 are mixed, they become 81, and the 81 also become mixed. And thus we ultimately do not know how the delusion increases and increases. Lord Brahma had to accommodate different places and situations for the requisite bodies of the conditioned souls. The task was meant only for Brahma, and no one in the universe can even understand how difficult it was. But by the grace of the Lord, Brahma was able to execute the tremendous task so perfectly that everyone is amazed to see the workmanship of the Vidhata, or the regulator. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham bande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you for our daily Srimad Bhagavatam class here at ISKCON Chowpatty, Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir. So before I make an attempt to speak on this beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, I would like to seek blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas and also those who are hearing this or watching this online, so that I can speak something which is beneficial to all of us and also purifying to me. So, as we have seen a series of shlokas glorifying Lord Brahmaji, what kind of service he is doing for the Supreme Lord, what kind of characteristics, what kind of devotional qualities that he had, right? So many devotees spoke so well about him. Now here in this shloka, the Supreme Lord is speaking this shloka. And he is saying that, Brahmaji was in anxiety, right? About what? About his service. So he was given the task of secondary creation, of creating all the planetary systems, 14 planetary systems. But then he saw the devastating waters, flooding, tossing high in the air. So he was disturbed. He was depressed. So he became confused. How can I do my service? So there was so much of anxiety that we can see in Brahmaji. So one theme which I thought was, Brahma, he is the first living entity, extraordinary personality with extraordinary skills, totally empowered by the Supreme Lord. But then he is also facing a situation wherein he was disturbed. He was depressed for a moment, not able to understand how he can continue his service to the Supreme Lord, right? So, and his job was not just to create the 14 planetary systems, but also to place the living entities in the respective positions in the different planetary systems based on their material qualities, Sattva, Raja and Tamoguna. And this job is not easy. And Brahmaji had to perform this service every day. Same job. So this is the job profile of Brahmaji. Sometimes it may appear very boring also. Same cheese every day we have to do. Right? But then this was his dedication to the Supreme Lord. Doing the same service again and again every day for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Such a quite hectic job profile, but still he was enthusiastic. But here the Lord is saying that he was depressed for a moment. Even the great souls, they have to face in their life sometimes a depressing moment wherein, they become confused. They may become helpless, right? But that is okay. To feel helplessness for some time is okay, but then to become hopeless is not good. And this is where the Lord understands the anxiety which Brahmaji is going through. And then he removes all the illusion, the confusion that Brahmaji was having, so that he can perform his service nicely. So the Lord created hope in the heart of Brahmaji, right, by giving him inspiration from inside. And the theme is like, devotees go through a lot of anxiety in their service to the Supreme Lord, right? And we have seen so many examples. Before that, I would like to explain the bhajan which Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has mentioned in his Atma Nivedan Tuva Pade. He says, Tomara sevaya dukha hoy jato, seitu parama sukha, seva sukha dukha parama sampada, nashaya avidya dukha. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, in the service of the Lord, sometimes we may experience some distress, some difficulties. But then that is not a problem. It is a cause of happiness for the devotees. So both sukha and dukha is a sampada, wealth of a devotee, while he is executing the service to the Lord. Right? And what happens by doing that? All the avidya, all the agyanta, ignorance is removed by the mercy of the Lord. So this is how the Lord creates a situation of hope in the heart of his devotees so that he can continue his service despite whatever difficulties he may have to go through. And we have seen in the Krishna Leela also. So before Krishna appeared in Vrindavan, situation was very peaceful. Everything was very fine. The moment he came there, the anxiety began. Every now and then, some or the other Rakshasa would come and disturb the situation in Vrindavan. Right? When Trinavarth came and he took away Krishna in front of Yashodamai, she was in total anxiety, not knowing what to do. Right? So the life of Brajvasis was filled with anxiety, but then there was a joy also in that anxiety. That anxiety was meant to serve Krishna. It was in the service of Krishna, which is temporary. Soon Krishna is going to help them. Krishna will take them out from that situation of anxiety. And then we also see from the pastime of Srila Madhavendra Puri, he was happily, doing his bhajan. He was chanting whole day the names of Lord Krishna, sitting under a tree in Vrindavan. And suddenly he receives an instruction from the Lord. Please take me out from these bushes. I am there. And that is how Gopalji deity manifested. And then again he gets an instruction from Gopalji that you have to go to Orissa to bring Chandan. And that was not easy to bring Chandan. Even now it is like, there is a restriction on that. So in those times also, bringing Chandan from a long distance is not an easy task. Madhavendra Puri could have easily delegated this seva to some other devotee also. He had so many disciples. But then he thought, the Lord has personally gave this instruction to me, let me do myself. And that is how he started his journey to Orissa. And with great anxiety, facing so many difficulties, he actually could able to serve the Lord. Right? Like Kaviraj Goswami also mentions, Bahu parishrame chandana remuna anila ananda badila mane dukha na ganila. Right? So even in that anxiety, what was the experience Srila Madhavendra Puri was going through? Ananda badila. His joy was increasing, his ecstasy was going on increasing. Just to make this point, to emphasize this point again, I would just like to share my own personal experience. In the Kartik Yatra 2023, like last few years, I have been given this service of organizing the festival cooking for the devotees for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada and also Govardhan Puja. So we would create around 150 to 200 chulas, traditional chulas wherein devotees can come and cook. And this yatra which was in Jagannath Puri, and just one day before the event, there was such a wind there, heavy winds flowing. So the wind was so powerful that even the LED wall which was installed in the main hall where Pandal, Katha Pandal, it fell down. Such was the wind. With great intensity it was flowing. And we were thinking how devotees will be able to cook this. Right? If there is so much of wind, then cooking on traditional chulas where there is no fencing around, it is so difficult. And we were in great anxiety. And some of us, we came together, we were planning, should we have this festival or not? Because it was difficult, it was impossible. Given those conditions, it was not possible only. And then somehow, in that state of helplessness, a devotee came there, Vasudeva Prabhu. He said, now we are totally helpless, let us pray to Jagannath Ji. And from the Pandal area, we could see the chakra of Lord Jagannath's temple, and not different from Jagannath Ji. And then we started praying to him, and then we thought of offering some bhoga to him on that day. And then somehow with the fence of devotees around, we managed to light a chula, and then we cooked hot pakoras. And then right there, we offered that to Jagannath Ji, the chakra of Lord Jagannath Ji. And then Vasudeva Prabhu also brought the flag of Jagannath Ji, which we tied on the, our festival pandal. And lo and behold, what has happened. By the evening time, when His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj began his first lecture, by the time he ended Jai Radha Madhav, the winds totally subsided. I mean, you can see this, the intervention of the Lord, the intervention of the pure devotees of the Lord. So we were going through so much of anxiety, a state of helplessness for such a long time, and we were about to cancel the whole thing, but something happened. So we were in one way, we were forced by Krishna to take his shelter, right? So many of you might have experience of this same situation, like we were helpless and then something happened. Krishna intervened, and then we could able to cross over that situation. So why Krishna puts his devotees in such a condition, such a state of anxiety? 3 reasons. One is he wanted to increase the intensity of their longing for the Lord. In that state, we long for the Lord. We become so helpless, right? And he also wanted to increase the intensity of our dependence on him. Now, many times we try to do by our own efforts. That is not a problem. We should actually do that. But then, we should also understand that without the sanction of Krishna, nothing can happen. And Krishna created such a situation that, we were totally dependent on him. Now you can only solve this problem. Please help us. So to increase the dependence of the devotees on the Lord, that is the second thing. And third is to increase the intensity of their love for the Lord. Like we see, while leaving Vrindavan, Krishna promised, while he was going to Mathura, he said, I will come back again. But he didn't came. He did not keep his promise. So the Brajvasis, they were in so much of pain of separation from Krishna. And in that pain, they were actually so intensely, madly in love with Krishna. Their longing increased, their dependence on Krishna increased, their intensity of love also increased. That is what Krishna demonstrates through these kind of situations, by putting these situations in the life of devotees. Right? So that is what is happening here with Lord Brahmaji also. Totally depressed, totally confused. But then Krishna helped him, took him out from that situation. And we have so many great devotees, Vaishnava devotees, acharyas in our sampradaya, exemplifying, demonstrating the same quality which we are discussing here. And one such great soul is Srila Narottam Das Thakurji, Narottam Das Mahashay, such a wonderful personality. And in the given time, whatever time we have, we will discuss some of his pastimes. And since this is the Kartik month, and what will be better than glorifying a devotee like Srila Narottam Das Thakur? So purifying and so enlivening also. So there are so many pastimes, but we will try to cover some of them, some important themes from his life story. Narottam, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Ramkeli, when he was about to go to Vrindavan, so he stayed there in Ramkeli for some time. And there, he was so absorbed in ecstatic kirtan, and in madness he was running here and there. In circles, he was running like a mad person. And then looking in the direction of Bangladesh, today's Bangladesh, Kheturi Gram especially, he was just crying out the names of Narottam, 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 right? And madly he was, dancing in ecstasy, circling around the devotees. And no one was able to understand why Mahaprabhu is behaving like this. And then Nityanand Prabhu and Haridas Thakur understands that there should be some great personality called Narottam who is going to soon appear in this world. And Mahaprabhu is predicting about that. So everyone becomes so happy, right? And then after that, Mahaprabhu takes Lord Nityanand Prabhu to the place, Prematali, exactly the place where, Padma river is flowing. Padma river is non-different from Mother Ganga, which was on the bank of Kheturi Gram. So Mahaprabhu takes Nityanand Prabhu there, and then he enters the waters of Padma river, not Padmavati, Padma river. And then he says to Nityanand Prabhu, now I am depositing my love in these waters of Padma river. Now you should give this back to Narottam when he comes back to this world. So in that way, he take a dip in the waters of Padma river, or inundates the whole water. The water overflows actually in ecstasy of the love that was deposited by Narottam Das Thakur, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then the river personified, Padma personified, she actually appeared in front of Mahaprabhu, and she says, but how can I understand Narottam Das? How can I identify him? That I have to give back this love back to him. So how should I understand? The Mahaprabhu says, don't worry. When he comes and touches your water, the same kind of inundation will take place as it is happening now. You will understand that this is Narottam Das Thakur. And this is how he deposited the love, his own love of Prema Bhakti in the waters of Padma river. And then Narottam Das Thakur appeared in Kheturi Gram. His parents were Krishnanand Dutt and Narayani Devi. And when he appeared with all the signs of Mahapurush. His hands were extending till the knees, all the devotional qualities. He was so beautiful, so charming. So everyone were wonderstruck seeing the beauty of Narottam Das Thakur. And the astrologer who came to see the Kundali of Narottam Das Thakur, he said, this person is a great person. And soon he is going to inundate the whole of Bengal, the whole of India with the love of Krishna. So he will be the topmost among all the personalities in this world. So that's why let us give him the name Narottam. Narottam Das Thakur ki. So this is the divine birth. And the time came of Annaprashan after 6 months. So Narottam was brought and Narayani Devi, she cooks some Anna grains for him and she brings in front of Narottam. And she was about to feed him. And Narottam Das Thakur is not interested in eating. He shuts his mouth and sometimes he just, shifts his face away, not interested in eating those grains. So no one is able to understand what is happening here. And the parents were thinking that the whole ceremony is spoiled now because of this child. What to do now? And at that time, one priest comes there and he says, I know why he is not eating. So he says, please offer this food to Krishna and then you can offer it to Narottam. So then the grains were offered to Krishna and then it was given to Narottam. And Narottam this time, he did not wait. He just devoured all the Mahaprasadam without waiting for a moment. And in this way, he proclaimed to the whole world that I will only eat Prasad, Krishna Prasad. And his father, Krishnanand Dutt, declared, let my child always be given Krishna Prasad. Hari Bol. And while he was growing up, while he was a young boy, young child, so he would meet a devotee called Krishna Das regularly. And this Krishna Das, he was the associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate. So he would describe for hours together the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and his associates in Vrindavan and Navadvip to Narottam. So every day he would hear the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, Lord Nityanand Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas Thakur, so many wonderful devotees, right? And then this Krishna Das also explains the life story of Srinivas Acharya to Narottam. How Srinivas Acharya, he was so longing to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? When he heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Puri, Jagannath Puri, he came running there. And when he came on the outskirts of Jagannath Puri, he came to know that, Lord has disappeared. So he became so despondent. In pain of separation, he was just crying and weeping. And finally, Lord Chaitanya appeared in the dream of Srinivasa Acharya and says that, don't worry, please go and meet Gadadhar Pandit. He's there now, hear Bhagavatam from him. So that instruction was given to him. The moment he reached inside the Puri to meet Gadadhar Pandit, he also disappeared. So in this way, the sequence of devotees who were, supposed to meet him, they all disappeared one by one. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and he was running from here and there, here to there. And when Narottam Das Thakur heard the story of the despondency, the longing of Srinivasa Acharya, how he wanted to meet the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, so he became so desirous that, I want to meet this Srinivasa Acharya. When will I able to meet this personality? Right? So in this way, just by hearing about Lord Chaitanya and his pastimes, Narottam Das Thakur developed such love for Lord Chaitanya. Shravanam, hearing is such a powerful tool. Rukmini Devi, she just heard about Krishna from different sages when they used to come to Mithila. Just by hearing from them, she developed attraction for Krishna. And she developed a desire to marry only Krishna and no one else. Right? That is the power of hearing. And then when he turned to age 12, Narottam Das Thakur had a dream of Nityanand Prabhu, where Nityanand Prabhu comes into his dream and tells him, now go to Padma river and take a dip, and the love which Mahaprabhu has deposited for you, you will receive that. And he was totally confused, not knowing what to do, because it came from Nityanand Prabhu, so he immediately went there to Padma river. And then when he just touched the waters of Padma river, it started flooding, overflowing like anything. The same ecstasy which was created by Mahaprabhu long time back. And in this way, when he entered the waters of Padma river, Mahaprabhu actually came inside and he embraced Narottam Das Thakur, infusing him with all the prema bhakti which he came to give to all of us. Right? And the moment he was touched by the body of Mahaprabhu, his body, he was actually Sham Varna, he was blackish complexion he was having. But the moment he received this love deposited by Mahaprabhu, his complexion turned to golden complexion. Right? And when his parents came to see him there, they were searching Narottam here and there. And when they came to see, they were totally shocked. His color, his bodily color was totally transformed to golden complexion. And everyone was astonished seeing this. So the parents understood that our son is deeply, madly in love with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. And no one can stop this. So Krishnanand Dutt, actually he was a very wealthy, affluent person. He was a great zamindar and he was a billionaire maybe at that time. And in that sense, Narottam was a prince in that particular area. And he had all the opulences, Aishwarya. He was surrounded by Aishwarya. But he was not at all interested in anything of this. He was just mad after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then, so even after going home, he was just thinking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was thinking about the associates of Lord Chaitanya. And in the pain of separation from them, he was just crying and weeping whole night. And somehow he slept, and then in the dream, again Mahaprabhu comes. And in the dream, he actually sees Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all his associates performing Sankirtana. And from a far distance place, Narottam is watching all this Sankirtan in the dream. And Mahaprabhu, when he was dancing, he sees that Narottam is standing there. And he comes and takes him inside the circle. And in this way, Narottam Das Thakur receives blessings of all the Vaishnavas who were there in that ecstatic Kirtan. And all this is happening in the dream which was having. But it was all true also, in the sense. It was a kind of vision, we can say. So in this way, Narottam he was in pain of separation from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. Then he decides to leave home and go to Vrindavan, because that was the instruction given by Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Please go to Vrindavan and take initiation from Lokanath Goswami. So he remembered that. And then he started, somehow when his father was not at home, then he just left home without saying anything to anyone. And then he started running in very random directions so that no one can find out where he has gone. No one will be able to trace where he has gone. So he went into the deep forest route and, not eating for so many days. For days together, he was just running and running through the forest, trying to go to Vrindavan. And his father has already sent guards to bring him back. So they were also searching for him. So somehow when he came to one village where he was resting in one place, and the people in that village were so enamored by the devotional qualities of Narottam Das Thakur, they just wanted to feed him and they just wanted to serve him. And at that very place, these guards, they also come there. And so what to do now? So with great humility and devotion, he convinces them of the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he says how my going there is such important. And it is not bad, it is correct thing which I am doing. So somehow by seeing his simplicity and humility, even the guards, they were totally, they agreed, they were convinced. And then they said, don't worry, you just go ahead. And they also giving some money. Take this money, for your kharcha pani. So this is how, Narottam Das Thakur, he again continues his journey towards Vrindavan. So when he reaches Vrindavan, when he was in the outskirts of Mathura, he was just taking some rest at Vishram Ghat. And at that place, one old Brahmin, he comes there. And then Narottam Das Thakur asks him, can you please tell me about the Goswamis? Where are they now? What are they doing? So he says, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to tell you that, they have already disappeared. They have left this world. And Narottam Das Thakur is in so much of pain, of separation from them. And he also says that even Raghunath Bhatt and Kashishwar Pandit, they have disappeared from this world. Again, he starts weeping and crying like anything. And then the Shad Goswamis, they appear to him. And they speak to him and they console him. Don't worry, you go there and take initiation from Lokanath Goswami. So while he was having this conversation with the Shad Goswamis, the old Brahmin, he was able to understand that he is speaking to them. And he was also mesmerized by seeing the devotion of this Narottam Das Thakur. So in this way, finally he reaches Vrindavan. His ultimate goal, objective of reaching Vrindavan and meeting all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. First he goes to Radha Govind Dev temple, and there Jiva Goswami meets him. And the meeting was so special. And when they meet each other, they just start weeping and crying and, bathing each other with their tears. That was the situation. And Narottam Das Thakur actually sleeps in the lap of Jiva Goswami. And Jiva Goswami is trying to console him. And what was this pain is all about? Pain of separation from so many devotees of Lord Chaitanya. And when the news is given to Srinivas Acharya, who was at that time in Radha Damodar temple, when the news reaches him that, all of us, we were waiting for this great personality called Narottam. Finally, he has come to Vrindavan. Please come immediately and, let us meet him. And when Srinivas Acharya, who was at Radha Damodar temple, he came to know, he was in such ecstasy. He was in such madness. He started running from there. Even the lovers of this world may not be able to do this kind of thing. And he was like a poverty-stricken beggar who has not eaten food for a long time. That was the state of Srinivas Acharya. He was running. He was coming with such great speed from Radha Damodar temple to Radha Govind Dev. And when both of them, when they come in front of each other, that is a sight to behold actually. Such an amazing sight. And they embraced each other, weeping, crying, bathing each other with their tears. And then it was said that actually when they were embracing each other, it was like, two bodies, they have come together. Such kind of union we can see amongst the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. And everyone who came there, they were showering blessing upon Narottam Das Thakur. Right? Because Mahaprabhu has already predicted about such a personality. And everyone was waiting because all the senior Vaishnavas, they have disappeared. They have left Vrindavan. And they were hankering for someone to come and console them. And this is when Narottam Das Thakur actually comes there. And Lokanath Goswami also comes, who was still alive at that time. And then Narottam Das Thakur with great humility approaches him, please accept me as your disciple. But then he denies, I don't want to make any disciples. Please don't ask me again about this. Right? But then Narottam Das Thakur, he was so determined that, Mahaprabhu has given me this instruction. I have to take initiation from him. And he menially serves Lokanath Goswami every day. He goes early morning in the place where Lokanath Goswami would pass his stool. He attends his morning duties. And without the notice of Lokanath Goswami, every day Narottam would go there and he would clean the area, and then he would cover the area with water and then cow dung also. And next day, when Lokanath Goswami used to come and see, everything is so clean and fresh. How is that? How this is happening? And then this happened for 1 full year. You can imagine what kind of tapasya one had to go through in order to get initiation from a guru. Right? It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. So one full year, Narottam Das Thakur, he was from such an affluent, wealthy family. But then here he was menially serving his guru, unknowingly, without informing anyone. Suppose we do some menial service, we will publish it in the social media. मैंने ये सेवा किया है, मैंने आज बर्तन घिसा है भगवान के लिए. So he was doing this for 1 year, and then finally Lokanath Goswami comes to know that this is being done by Narottam Das Thakur. And his heart finally melts, and then he accepts Narottam Das Thakur as his disciple. So later on, Narottam Das Thakur becomes very good friend, close friendship with Ramachandra Kaviraj, who was the disciple of Srinivas Acharya. They became best of the friends at that time. And they were both preaching in Kheturi Gram, which is in Bangladesh, and around that area. They were intensely preaching about the Prema Bhakti, direct Krishna consciousness. But at that time, there were many ritualistic Brahmanas also, who were interested more in Karma and Jnana Kanda. They were not interested in pure Bhakti. And all of them, they became so envious of Narottam Das Thakur because his fame was increasing day by day. And Narottam Das Thakur, by his power, he was initiating some of the Brahmanas also. One Brahmana came to Narottam Das Thakur. He fell at the lotus feet of Narottam Das Thakur. And he said, I used to blaspheme you like anything because you are from a Kayastha background, which is considered to be Shudra in those times in Bengal. And they were all top Brahmanas. And they were feeling that how this person can initiate Brahmanas. It is something wrong which is happening. And this Brahmana, he was crying when he fell at the lotus feet of Narottam Das Thakur. He said, because of my blasphemy to you, I developed this leprosy. Please kindly bestow your mercy upon me, deliver me from this condition. Then Narottam Das Thakur actually puts his feet on his head and tells him to dance in the kirtan. And when this Brahmana dances in great ecstasy in that kirtan, slowly his leprosy disappears from his body. And in this way, he was initiating so many Brahmanas after Brahmanas. His fame was increasing, but then were many other Brahmanas also who were totally envious of Narottam Das Thakur. And one time, Narottam Das Thakur and Kaviraj Goswami, they were sitting in one place, they were discussing Krishna Katha. And two young boys, they came to that place, herding, small goats and, small buffaloes. They were herding there. And those animals, they were meant for Durga Puja. They were meant for sacrifice. So Narottam Das Thakur and Kaviraj Goswami, Ramchandra Kaviraj, they understood that, these boys, they are taking these animals for sacrifice, animal sacrifice. So they started discussion on Krishna Katha in such a loud voice, so that these two boys, their name were Hariram and Ramakrishna, they were hearing the whole conversation. And the desire was, these two boys should hear this conversation, the indirect preaching kind of thing. And when these two boys from a distant place, when they were hearing this discussion on Krishna conscious philosophy from these two personalities, they totally become convinced about the whole philosophy. And finally, they both came here and they said, we want to become your disciples. Please accept us as your disciples. So Narottam Das Thakur saw potential in these two boys, and just by his power, his preaching, he converted these two boys who were Shakta worshippers of Durga, Bhagavati. So they became actually great Vaishnavas. And when Hariram and Ramakrishna, when they went back to their home, his father was a great worshipper of Bhagavati. And he became so furious when he saw that my two young sons, they have become Vaishnavas. So then he started, chastising them. And then somehow, Hariram and Ramakrishna, they spoke whatever they heard. Sometimes devotees also do that. After 6 months of hearing Krishna Katha, philosophy of Krishna consciousness, we start downloading on newcomers who come to our temples. That is not wrong. We can do that. We should continue to do that. So they were trying to preach his own father. His name was Shivaya Acharya. But he was a staunch follower of Durga Devi. So he said, nothing doing. I don't accept your philosophy. Just get lost from here. And then he says, these Brahmanas, they are speaking so many ill words about both of you. How will I convince them? So Hariram and Ramakrishna says, don't worry, my dear father, we will take care of that. So these Brahmanas, they come and these two young boys, 16-year-old boys, they totally defeat the philosophy of these Brahmanas. And they also become Vaishnavas. And their leader Murari, Pandit Murari, he also comes, he also gets defeated by these two young boys. Right? So in this way, these two boys, they became so powerful that they were converting all the other Brahmanas into Vaishnavas. Just by a fraction of a moment of association with Narottam Das Thakur. And while all this was happening, one great personality, Ganga Narayan Chakravarti, he was witnessing the whole thing, what's happening. These two young boys, they are so effulgent, they are so pure, and they are so transformed. Just by seeing their transformation, this Ganga Narayan Chakravarti, who was totally, into jnana and karma thing, so he also developed a desire to surrender to Narottam Das Thakur. So in this way, he also goes to Narottam Das Thakur and he puts his desire in front of him, and then he also becomes the disciple of Narottam Das Thakur. Jai Shri Narottam Das Thakur ki. So this was the power of his preaching, right? He was converting so many of them, and then he transformed one powerful dacoit called Hari Chandra Rai, such a powerful dacoit. So he practically became a king of some of the areas put together. But because of his impious, sinful activities, then he was haunted by Brahma Rakshas. And it was difficult for him to survive also. But then what to do? No one was able to cure him of this disease, because Brahma Rakshas are very powerful. It's not easy to handle them. And then Ma Bhagavati appears in their dream and tells them that, you should surrender to Narottam Das Thakur. He will only help you. He can bring out from this condition. So in this way, the name fame of Narottam Das Thakur increased so much. He became so powerful, and he started converting all of them, transforming all of them into powerful Vaishnavas. Not only he, but his disciples also, they became so powerful. And they were converting, transforming people into Vaishnavas. And many such stories, but then some important things which I would like to share is, what would Prabhupada was speaking whenever he used to quote Narottam Das Thakur. So Prabhupada would always say that our authority is Narottam Das Thakur. These songs, one of the major contributions of Narottam Das Thakur, his Vaishnava songs, Vaishnava bhajans, which he has written. And these bhajans were filled with conclusive truths, philosophical truths of scriptures, which was made so easy, written in Bengali language, so that even a person who is not so inclined towards hearing katha and all that, lecture and all that, they would just sing these bhajans and they could understand the great philosophy of Krishna conscious philosophy. So this was one of the great contribution of Narottam Das Thakur. And Prabhupada would often quote this, his bhajans, especially Prabhupada would always sing this bhajan, Hari Hari Bifale, right? Manushya Janama Paya Radha Krishna na bhajiya Janiya Shuniya Vishakhaino. So Prabhupada would often quote this phrase from this bhajan, and he would say how knowingly, willingly, intentionally we are drinking poison in this world by not worshipping Radha and Krishna. So Prabhupada would quote so many philosophical points from the bhajans of Narottam Das Thakur. And he would also mention some of the prayerful mood of Narottam Das Thakur. There is one instance in Krishna book where Prabhupada mentions how pure devotional service should be the ultimate goal of everyone, not even liberation or any other thing, right? So Prabhupada would often quote Narottam Das Thakur as he is our authority. If he has said something, then we have to just accept it. So in this way, Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada also encouraged, reading about the books, the bhajans of Narottam Das Thakur. Another major contribution of Narottam Das Thakur was a particular peculiar style of kirtan which he has introduced. So when one day while he was singing some kirtan, he sang in a very different melody, which he never sang before. And everyone around him, they were astonished. This is so wonderful. And even Narottam Das Thakur he himself was surprised. So this beautiful kirtan style is coming from his mouth. Even the demigods, when they heard this beautiful singing of Narottam Das Thakur, they were showering flowers on him. And some of the Gandharvas, they were also feeling ashamed. Even we cannot sing so beautifully as Narottam Das Thakur is singing. And that kirtan style became so famous with the name called as Gharana Hati. And later on, many derivatives of this kirtan style came, like Manohar Shahi and many other things also came. So this was also a unique contribution of Narottam Das Thakur for all of us. Even Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, they would also often, Prema Bhakti Chandrika, they would carry these books of Narottam Das Thakur always with them. They were deeply immersed in the teachings of Narottam Das Thakur, in the kind of preaching which he did, the kind of devotional qualities he has demonstrated by his stay in this world. So in this way, he manifested such beautiful pastimes. At the end, when one time Narottam Das Thakur developed such intense fever, such high fever, which is beyond imagination for all of us. And then he just sat in one place, not speaking to anyone for 3 days. And all his disciples, they were surprised, they were confused, what's happening with our Guru Maharaj. And then Narottam Das Thakur says, please put me on the funeral pyre. Now I will leave my body. So then the news was spread. Many people came there to witness this whole thing. And even those Brahmanas who were blaspheming Narottam Das Thakur, they also came. And Narottam Das Thakur was laid on the funeral pyre, and they were about to light. And these Brahmanas, even when Narottam Das Thakur passed away, they were blaspheming him. See the condition of this Kayastha. He was thinking he is so great. Now see what kind of death he has got. He developed fever and he died a miserable death. So even at that time they were blaspheming. So seeing this condition, Ganganarayan Chakravarti, he understands. He goes to the body of Narottam Das Thakur and very compassionate mood he prays to his Guru. My dear Guru, please deliver these people. They are doing so much of blasphemy against you. So when he prayed like this, Narottam Das Thakur got up from the funeral pyre. His body became so radiant, effulgent, and a Brahman, golden colored Brahman thread appeared on his body, indicating to these Smartha Brahmanas that, what are you just speaking about Brahmana? See this. So he manifested that, and by seeing that they actually understand the greatness of Narottam Das Thakur. All of them, they fell at the feet of Narottam Das Thakur and they all became his disciples. Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki. And since today is the disappearance day of Narottam Das Thakur, and one day when Narottam Das Thakur decided to leave this world, he went to Padma river and then he said to his disciples to please massage my body. And while they were massaging his body melted. His body transformed into milk and then entered into the water of Padma river. In this way, he left this world. Mahaprabhu left this world by merging into the body of Tota Gopinath. Lord Nityanand Prabhu left this world by merging into the deities of Bankim Rai. And now here Narottam Das Thakur leaves this world by merging in the waters of Padma river. Jai Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Nitai Gaur Premanande. So I will stop here and thank you so much for your kind attention. Thank you all. Hare Krishna. Anyone has one question or comment on the discussion that we had so far? Thank you. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.